She's action driven and she is present. She shows up. Hindi lang pang photo op and hindi lang anak nito or kakilala nito.
Prima ballerina and proud kakampink Lisa Macuja Elizalde is the first name that comes to mind whenever Filipinos hear the word ballet. In this episode, she shares with us the greatest lessons she has learned from her world-renowned career and why she has decided to dance to the tune of Kay Leni Tayo for the 2022 presidential election. Ma'am, kamusta po kayo? How are you doing po? What keeps you busy these days?
I have a school that is almost 100% online. So the Lisa Macuja School of Ballet has been teaching online since the pandemic began. So 2 years na. I teach regularly in all our programs. Of course, I have my company. We are not operating in full blast at the moment, but we do have live performances in Star City on the weekends. And we are preparing for a taping of our Silver Gala. My work keeps me busy, of course, taking care of my family as well.
We definitely can relate, ma'am, especially a lot of us are also going back to the office. And since the country is also kind of going back to a semblance of normalcy. And I'm also glad that you mentioned that you are keeping busy with Star City because one of my teammates actually, Bella, was telling me last night that when she was a kid, she was really looking forward to your performances in Star City. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here today, but when she watches this episode, she'll definitely be excited to hear about that.
We're, of course, all ecstatic that Star City has finally been able to open and has been doing very well attendance wise. The new automated system, buying tickets online, less contact. Star City has become, I would think, leaner and meaner when it comes to operations and the rides. The whole experience is still very rewarding and very fulfilling.
I remember when I was younger, whenever we would discuss our country's history, isa sa mga Pilipino na nagdala ng karangalan sa Pilipinas, your name has always been synonymous to ballet. Sa millennials lang nga, you are the GOAT, greatest of all time. So yung first question namin, ma'am, what are the greatest lessons that ballet has taught you that still affect your everyday life?
Well, of course, discipline, keeping a schedule, coming to class or coming to a meeting or any commitment on time, warming up before teaching, for example. Up to now, I still do that. I don't come into a class cold. I do my homework. I carve out the amount of time and energy in my day in order to accomplish my goals, my appointments for that day and every day. You stick to a routine. As a dancer, I needed to stick to a routine to keep in shape. When you're a performing athlete, you really have to keep the body in shape as well. That's one of the big advantages that I have now in my old retired age because of the activity and the discipline of physical activity and physical exercise. I have been blessed with the kind of physical, I guess, energy and sense of self, sense of identity, because I have been dancing for 35 years. The sense of accomplishment gives you up to today that confidence, the belief in yourself and in your own like qualifications and skills, most especially to be able to continue with my new role in life, which is to teach and to hand down the art of ballet to the next generation, and it is to mentor the next generation of dancers and teachers as well. I know the meaning of sacrifice. You can only achieve success if you are willing to do the work and to make the sacrifices necessary. You have a dream of dancing Swan Lake, so you get up and every day you're in the studio dancing, sweating, feeling some discomfort and pain, taking care of blisters and muscle aches, keeping healthy, eating the right thing, not going out, not socializing, not partying, so that you can get 8 hours of sleep in order to wake up in top form the next day. That kind of sacrifice, I was trained in that from when I was in high school, and I decided that I wanted to become a ballerina. That is with me up to today.
You definitely did dedicate your entire life to the craft, and it really shows not just with the way you present yourself, but in also the way you continue to pay it forward in terms of helping the future generation of ballet dancers that our country can be proud of. You are also a staunch advocate of bringing ballet to the people through the Lisa Macuja School of Ballet. What is the legacy that you wish to leave in the Philippine arts and culture?
Ballet Manila, the school, and the company is my legacy. The fact that I have a company that has been doing one season after another for the last 27 years. Yes, maybe we did have to stop on our 25th year, but we have been in existence for 27 years. So that's 27 years of generations of dancers trained, a host of repertoire, both classical, neoclassical, and Filipino, original Filipino ballets that are in our repertoire, our active repertoire up to today. I also have a system of training in classical ballet, which is based on the Russian Vaganova method that I trained in Russia. So that is my legacy. I'm also training both teachers and dancers and students in that. My project Ballet Futures, which is my ballet scholarship program, which has given new lives and hope to some of my ballet scholars who have been able to really accomplish a lot in the world of ballet despite having had very limited resources. That's my legacy, Ballet Manila. And I hope that I will continue to be able to lead Ballet Manila until the next generation again will take over.
Do you believe that the prevailing notion that ballet is only for the elite and wealthy, do you think that's changing in this day and age?
Yes, I think so. It is changing. Why? Because also of social media. You can now access high quality ballet performances. You can talk directly to ballet stars. I used to wait for them backstage, and ask for their autograph. And now ballet students all over the world can get instruction, can get inspired by dancers from all over, again, the world, transcending race, transcending cultures, transcending systems of training. Even, there's very many different styles of ballet and ballet training. And because it is a very global art form, and the reach now with technology has, just one example, my school, I train ballet students logging in from Portugal, logging in from the United States, from Indonesia, Malaysia, Japan, Korea, Taiwan. The ballet world has become even smaller, even tighter. It is really definitely not a form that is considered elitist or just for the royalty or the wealthy people to enjoy.
It's also a testament to how lucky we are right now that we're enjoying these technologies that really allow us to break barriers and communicate with each other regardless of country of origin. Because like you said, you also have students from other countries like Portugal and Indonesia, and that's really wonderful to hear. Having said that, ma'am, I think in the past few weeks there was a video that went viral. It was posted by dancers for Leni, and you appeared in somehow a split second moment, and people in Twitter were going crazy. They were like, is that Lisa Macuja? Well, that's so amazing that she was part of the video. And my friends were also wondering if that was really you. So, so amazing, ma'am. Nakakatuwa po. Can you tell us, ma'am, what made you decide to pledge your support for VP Leni's candidacy for the 2022 presidential elections?
Well, first of all, I met VP Leni when Ballet Manila had a performance in Naga. At that time, she was not yet the vice president. What struck me when I met her, it was actually in the lobby of our hotel sa Naga before I had to leave for the airport. And she was very gracious. She was very charming. Yung parang naaabot mo, very down to earth. And not just that, I think qualifications wise, I always say for little girls that want to become ballerinas, the first step to becoming a ballerina is you need to seek the best kind of training and the best kind of mentoring possible, because you need to learn, you need to be educated in the art form. And I feel that VP Leni has that. She has the qualifications, she has the training, she has the diplomas. It's a big deal that I am able to trust the person. You cannot buy trust, it
Yes.
has to be earned. And I feel that she has definitely earned my trust, not just with the the actions that she has done, all her accomplishments, they speak for themselves. The fact that she is ready to get her hands dirty, she's ready to show up, she's present. That's a big, big deal. The fact that you show up and are present, that speaks a lot about character, and it speaks a lot about how she is going to act as our president.
So to our viewers, guys, you've heard it straight from Miss Lisa herself. She really was the woman in the video, first of all. And and she gave a glowing recommendation to VP Lenny. And I love, ma'am, how you connected your craft. A while ago, we were talking about how it still affects you today in terms of discipline, in terms of showing up. And I love how you somehow integrated that into your decision in choosing a president, because you've dedicated your life to such a demanding craft, and we shouldn't expect no less from the people who will be running our country.
Of course. I mean, we shouldn't expect less because we deserve the best. We deserve the best leader to lead us. These are not simple times. These are very, very challenging times. There's so much suffering. There's so much poverty. There's so much uh, sadness. And I think that we definitely need to be able to hope, to be able to look forward to um, a, a brighter future. Uh, we deserve it.
I love how you recognized also that there really is a need, especially in times like this when so many of our freedoms are being jeopardized or imperiled. There still is a sentiment that artists should not meddle with politics because art, as many people say, should not be political. What is your opinion on this, ma'am?
I think it's a choice. I think everything is a choice. It's the choice of the artist, and it's the choice of the fan of that artist or the admirer of that artist to either be vocal or to remain apolitical. But in the end, I don't think anybody should remain a fence sitter if they want to instigate and demand and acquire change. You have to take a stand. Eventually, you really have to take a stand. And artists are human beings with opinions, with a lot of heart, a lot of beliefs as well. So we should be able to take a stand and vocalize that we have a voice. We should use it. Although they say dancers should be seen and not heard. I was never someone, from the very beginning, uh, uh, I think I've gotten into trouble giving interviews and being quite vocal about my opinions. But I think it's a choice, and we just have to, as I said, number one in my my 8 counts for success in my like graduation speech for Ateneo a while back. I said, the first step really is you decide and then you commit to that decision. So artists, like everybody else about their political views, they should make a decision. Are they going to remain fence sitters? Are they going to remain quiet, or are they going to start um, saying things that will hopefully inspire and motivate other people to do the same? And it's a choice. So we need to decide and then commit and then work hard, having committed to that decision.
I love that you said that as artists, you have the choice to be a fence sitter or to be vocal about certain issues. And I think that's also what separates great artists from those who are not. I think a great artist will always have a say on certain things or political things specifically. And that great artists should always inform their art of the cultural milieu or the most pressing issues that's happening in his or her society. And I
Mhm.
can also somehow relate this, ma'am, di ba? You were studying in Russia at the time of, I guess, monumental change in the USSR. So maybe that also somehow influenced the way that you approach your art.
Well, I was always motivated my whole career as being a ballerina of the people, a ballerina for the people. And Ballet Manila's mission has always been to bring ballet to the people and more people to the ballet. And that's because, again, my roots, uh, having been educated and performing in Russia, I saw how in Russia the audience for the ballet is really not just you know the high society. It was like families of several generations, grandmothers bringing their grandchildren to the ballet. We performed for the military. We performed for patients in hospitals. We performed, Ballet Manila has performed on the streets, um, in school gyms, and even in the Sabungan in Zamboanga. So I believe in really bringing the art to the people, make it accessible, make it good performances that people will want to come back for more. So that, yes, definitely has affected me. My say growing up years. My formative years were in communist Russia, very
Yes.
different from the Russia that is today. I left for the Soviet Union in 1982, and then I came back in 1986. So I did experience life in the Soviet Union under Brezhnev, Gorbachev, Chernenko, and Andropov, uh, until Gorbachev took over and then Perestroika happened. I continue to have many friends in Russia, so the influence is still there.
Super loved hearing about that sentiments, no, because I think not a lot of people know kind of the historical aspect of being there during that time, and I'm glad that you expounded on that more. Having said that, ma'am, no, I think the country's art history is somehow inextricably linked to the dictatorship years. And we have a lot of artists today whose art and craft were really supported by, I guess, the elephant in the room is the former First Lady, whose son is the front runner for the presidency. Ma'am, in your opinion, how should we tread a fine line between recognizing their contributions to the Philippine art scene while at the same time honoring our history and recognizing the atrocities and injustice committed during that period?
Well, just like now, with the war, the invasion of Ukraine, many Russian artists are appealing to not let the artists suffer for the war in Ukraine, because it's something that's so removed from, the art itself. Being a good ballerina doesn't mean that you support the politician that. First of all, I was not an Imelda baby. Okay, I was not a scholar of the former first lady. I got my scholarship through my father, who worked with the Ministry of Trade of the former Soviet Union at that time. And I had to audition to get my spot in the Russian Ballet Academy. And when you excel with the kind of superior training, and then you excel in it again, you shouldn't your mentor or your sponsor shouldn't be like like I'm of course you're grateful to your mentor or sponsor, but uh, they shouldn't identify with you, because your art, your accomplishments, that's you, that's completely separate. Yeah. um, but you have to acknowledge also that the former first lady did help so many artists to achieve their dreams, because she was able to provide the opportunity, the financial support to be able to train in, say, the United States, or in a very established institution. And what I like about that is these artists now, armed with this training, like myself, can now come back to the Philippines and teach and nurture again the next generations of artists. So she began that, uh, and the work will always continue. Um, but I don't, and the arts always got a bad name because of the association with, say, the Cultural Center of the Philippines and the Marcoses. But I think that we need a more open mind, because I think we shouldn't blame the artists. Yeah, they're just there. They're just practicing their art. They're trying to achieve perfection, and trying to create something, trying to entertain and educate and inspire and motivate. That's what we're trying to do. So we shouldn't be blamed for the person that, say, supported or sponsored them.
What I took from what you said was that artists shouldn't be blamed. I mean, they also shouldn't be indebted to the help that was given to them, because I think it's also the responsibility of the government to provide support to artists and to enrich the arts and culture scene. Artists should be able to somehow be objective. They can still be able to use their art for the common good. In this election, we hardly talk about arts and cultures issues, especially when we are asking about the platforms of the candidates. Why do you think it is important for the next administration to have a clear cut platform in terms of how to promote and how to enrich the Philippine arts and culture?
Well, because if we don't start supporting our artists and our creative industry here in our country, we will continue to lose our artists to the greener pastures of the art scene abroad. We lose our foremost opera singers abroad. We lose our foremost, dancers and musical theater artists. There will be that drain, and I think the arts and the artists, the creative industry, it can really support, and it can thrive in our country, and it every Filipino can sing, right? Every Filipino has this huge generous heart, uh, and we without the kind of support that is necessary, to, first of all, again, I always go back to the training. You need the training. You need the training. You need to build your career with a super good foundation. And I think that you can only get the training if you have the good teachers. And you can only get the good teachers if you support them while they're practicing their art. They cannot become good if they're not able to practice their art. And after they're able to practice their art, that's when they gain the experience, they gain the knowledge, they gain the skills to be able to now teach and pass it down to the next generation. So it has to start somewhere. And it starts with supporting the teachers, training the teachers so that they will now build you the next artists and the next, the next Cecilica, then the next Lea Salonga, and the next, Lisa Macuja. Uh,
Yes, yes.
yeah, you need that.
Couldn't agree more, ma'am. I was just about to say that we need more Lisa Macujas, we need more Lea Salongas, we need more of these people, and they shouldn't be the exception because Philippine society is really thriving with so much untapped talent. I guess government support will really be crucial in tapping that talent and resources. So I guess, ma'am, for our last question, in the upcoming May 9 elections, why is the best man for the job a woman?
Number one is the training. Yeah, she has the training. She has the experience. That's number two, experience. She has the track record of immediate, fast, and effective action. She's hands on. She is not afraid to get her hands dirty. She's not just pang photo op. She does the work. Hindi siya natatakot magpawis at maging mabaho, you know. Mapawisan, maging mabaho, at saka maarawan. Uh, she has the discipline. She knows the meaning of sacrifice. She knows what it's like to have to sleep only for 3 hours, and then you get up and then you have to function at 100%. Kasi nga, 3 oras lang ang tulog mo kasi nga, madaming trabaho. When you put in 16-hour days, 18-hour days, you need we need that kind of a person that is willing to sacrifice their own comfort. They're willing to sacrifice their own comfort and their own well-being, even to the point of sacrificing their own health to be able to be an effective leader. um, she has a good heart that you cannot uh, disagree with. You can see that in her action, in her speeches, in everything that she says and does. She has a good heart. She's action driven, and she is present. She shows up. So
Yes.
I think that alone, she shows up and she's present. As I said, hindi lang pang photo op, and hindi lang anak nito or kakilala nito. Hindi eh. Ano siya, she will show up even for her enemies. She will show up even for, say, the provinces that didn't vote for her. Basta may problema, basta kailangan ng kanyang tulong, she shows up, and that speaks volumes. You can be the smartest in the room. You can be the the most skilled, the most experienced. But, honey, if you don't show up, if you are absent, walang mangyayari. Di ba?
Completely agree, ma'am. That's so beautiful and so snappy. To our viewers who are watching, you heard it straight from the woman herself, the living legend, Miss Lisa Macuja Elizalde. And you couldn't really ask for a more reliable person to get a recommendation from. With that being said, ma'am, thank you so much for your time. I know you're very
You're
busy, but
welcome.
thank you very much, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you also.
Thank you, ma'am.